Allcraft, time to shower? You're goddamn right. Shadowlands is out on the 27th. I know that, man. Should I watch Allcraft if I don't care about WoW? Yeah, half the people that watch Allcraft don't care about WoW. They just try to make Rich laugh on the show. Like, that's literally it. That's the whole thing. Is because Rich will read the fucking shit on the show, and that's it. Like, yeah, half the people don't even care about WoW. They just watch the show because they want to make Rich fucking give them attention. You know, or like, Rich, what's that behind you? And he goes like, he tries to do it like fucking, you know, like it's not obvious that he just read it out of chat and he was getting a little bit nervous. Just one of those things. We are going to get into Allcraft right now, and we're joined today with a very special guest, somebody who is actually from the other side of the pond, over on YouTube. His name is Courage. Originally used to be on Twitch. He was on YouTube. Famous Call of Duty caster, 100 Thieves legend. And boys, today, he's going to join us. He's going to talk about WoW, talk about some other games, and have him on the show. Oh yeah, and there's Rich too. Yeah, he's not actually fired. And as I said before, we do have a new sponsor today, which is NordVPN. And we're probably going to mention that about 40 times. Because we want them to continue sponsoring us. So please click the link. Fucking please click the link. That's all there is to it. Yeah, we're selling out, obviously. Anyway, gentlemen, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and watch the, let's go ahead and do the show. All right, let's go over here. Yeah, dude. It's gonna be, yeah, dude, watch, in like 3 months from now, 4 months from now, it's gonna be sellout craps, man. It's gonna be good. And we're also gonna talk about the release date. Give me 1 second, let me go ahead and get in the call with them.
Yo, dude.
Yo, what up? You guys hear me?
Tell about NordVPN, dude.
So, did you tell them about NordVPN? Do you want to tell them again?
I've seen so many times, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, actually, check out. I made 3 different graphics. Check out the newest one.
Okay, do you want to use that one?
Yeah, throw that up. I think it'll look really good.
Okay,
I worked on that.
Can you see me or no?
No,
wait, yeah, I can hear you,
do
but
you
I
have
can't
OBS
see it.
open? Because your webcam isn't working.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
I haven't heard his voice in a while, man.
Ah.
He stopped calling me after he got really famous.
Oh, jeez, man. Starts talking to Ninja and he's too big for Rich.
Dude,
Let me go ahead and set off all the frames. Give me a second. All right, and let's see here. Okay, everything's completely fucked up, just like usual. Oh, he's not even in the call. All right, well, we'll just wait for him to get back in. All right, let me go ahead and just make it back over there. There, we gotta wait for him to get back in the call. It's not C2 again, gentlemen, okay? We're just waiting for Courage to be able to figure out his call thing. So anyway, yeah. What did you think of Gamescom, dude? We're gonna talk about, obviously, on the show. What'd you think?
115K Andy Mungold. Congratulations. Yeah. And also, Gamescom, this was one of the better ones. Usually Gamescom...
You think so?
Yeah. I don't think that we should ever do anything in person again. I think everything should be done online. I think it was better because it was online.
I absolutely agree with that.
Dude, Jeff was cracking me up. Jeff, dude.
Yeah, Jeff, what a funny guy, man. What a funny fucking guy, dude. But I think it was okay, man. Yeah, it was all right. I can't show Rich right now because I'm going to have to resize the frames in order to fit Courage into frames later on. And that's all. That's the thing I'm waiting for, okay?
Dude, you know,
there you are, dude. Okay, all right, let's set this up. Okay.
Man.
Give me 1
the
second.
Setups for these YouTube guys, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
This is professional.
What was up with, there was a guy, it was literally Jeff Kaplan with a beard.
Yeah, I know.
Did you see that?
It was weird, wasn't it?
It was a bearded Jeff Kaplan for it was a World War II VR game where you apparently can lean. Hey, let's just start the episode as you get the new graphics.
Wait, are you talking about the graphic that you titled Sellout?
Yeah, put that one up. Try that one out.
Okay. All right.
Nice to see you, Jack.
There we go.
There we go.
I
think this one's really solid.
Yeah, this is really great.
Did you tell them about NordVPN yet?
I don't know. Do you want to tell them?
Yeah. So guys, not only is Jack here today, but we're about to announce a super secret new collaboration for this episode only. If you guys don't click the link immediately, please click the link. We haven't revealed it yet. It's a secret collaboration. NordVPN. This episode is sponsored by NordVPN.
Big surprise there. Big surprise.
Yeah. I was really excited about this.
Thank you guys for all the support.
In all seriousness, and because it's a NordVPN sponsorship, we got a world traveler on the show today.
That's right.
A legend. He used to be one of the best casters in the world before I started casting. Man, he's casted so many titles.
Wow.
Then he actually all of a sudden found out that he was good at games. Cranking 90s with Ninja all the time. Blew up. Made a music video with Ariana Grande.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and the entire time when he was traveling around the world, he was like, man, I wish that I could set my internet back to America where I'm from. And he had to use NordVPN, most likely. That's what I always do, especially when I'm in China. I never lose connection when I'm there. And I'm able to talk to all of my friends, just like our guest today. Jack, welcome to the show. We wanted this to happen for years at this point. Thank you so much for making time, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on in your world right now. I feel like you're a busy boy.
Oh, well, first off, I have to say thank you so much, Asmongold, for having me on. Rich, go fuck yourself. It's great to be here. I am so happy to see all of Asmongold's success, watching day in and day out. I want to say thank you for being so entertaining. I've loved the New World streams. I've loved all the WoW streams.
Caught me by surprise the other day, yesterday. We were talking about you, and then you just showed up in the chat.
Bro, I'm telling you, if I'm not streaming, I'm literally watching your stream.
Thank you.
I've been really enjoying all the content, and also, one thing that I do love about this world is NordVPN. NordVPN is my favorite thing ever.
Is it really?
And I can't wait to click the link in the description right now of this podcast.
That's true.
Support Asmongold, and I guess Rich too.
Yeah.
Might as well. Have you ever watched that guy that Asmon? So if you watch Asmon stream all the time, there's this one dude. He's real handsome that he hosts all the time. You ever watch that guy?
Yeah,
stream? You like that one?
I do love. Make-A-Wish continues to do such incredible things as an organization, and to see how far Make-A-Wish has gone to help a struggling boy like you, Rich. It's awesome. So
this is a very special episode because it's two of the people that have carried me in my career on the same.
For people that don't know, the reason why I love to go in on Rich is because Rich and I worked together at Major League Gaming before he got fired for the 5th time.
So the Blizzard thing isn't necessarily a new thing.
Oh no, he almost got fired once because we were working in the New York City office together, Asmongold, and he brought in an entire fish. He brought in an entire fish with the bones in it in the tin foil that reeked up the whole office. It's like a known thing. You don't eat like fish like that in the office.
You don't do that.
The bones out.
With his disclosure, the reason that I ordered the fish was because Bobby Kotick came to our office and felt so bad that we had to work. No. I actually, dude, Bobby Kotick and I, we talked for 2 seconds one time, but he came into the office and the office was so terrible that he looked around. He said, I'm giving you guys all Seamless accounts to order yourself food until we can get you in a better office. And I would find ways to spend every single cent of the allotted amount for each day. So I started buying whole animals so I would have food at home.
It was like $7.50 in the heart of New York City, like in Midtown Manhattan. It was like, what are my options for today? The dollar menu for McDonald's, or like a half a sandwich from a local spot that I just
Bobby Kotick bought me a fish every day for 3 months. Thanks,
give a
Bobby.
Man a fish, that's what they say.
Definitely didn't learn how to fish.
Putting that $30 million salary to work.
Dude, I kind of want to ask Jack. I mean, we could reminisce about stories forever. I feel like at this point we've probably known each other for maybe 4 or 5 years.
Sadly,
but you made a big leap, leaving us on Twitch, and you started streaming on YouTube. And I've noticed when I've casted different things on YouTube, or even watched the event today. Like I watched Asmon watch the event on YouTube, and I feel like the chat is so different on YouTube. I feel like it's actually a lot rougher sometimes, like if something goes bad, because they don't have emotes, right? Like if you're in Twitch chat, they just start spamming KEKW. They just start spamming I. Every now and then they'll type out bald, but for the most part, it's in emotes. How different is it to be streaming on YouTube?
I knew going into it that it was going to be a complete change. There are a lot of things from the moderation side that need to be ironed out, and things like that. I first started streaming without members only mode on, like sub only mode, and realized quick just how many people will fall for fake Mr. Beasts in chat, fake ninjas in chat, fake laser beams in chat. So like the 8-year-olds who are watching that are just begging me to play Fortnite, even though I don't play it anymore, are like
Good
clicking
call.
these profiles and giving them their parents' social security number because they think it's Mr. Beast actually saying, "Hey, if you send me $50, I'll send you 20
Ninja
grand."
wants to call him back.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
No, that type of
jeez.
stuff. So they're like doxing themselves in my YouTube chat. So
Oh,
I
God.
now I'm in like exclusively member only mode in chat, and I have like 54 emotes. So for the most part, like any emote that I wanted, I kind of like transferred it over, and it works pretty well. There's definitely a lot of updates that need to come and are coming, but so far the transition's been a lot better than I expected. I will say, you know, I had an opportunity to go to Mixer. I was one of the few people that had the opportunity to go to YouTube as well, and now seeing how Mixer went and stuff like that, I think I'm one of the few people who's had pretty damn successful transition from one platform to another. Like my viewership is up, my paid subs is up on YouTube versus when I was on Twitch by about over double. So there's a lot of stuff coming that I'm excited for, but I still spend majority of my time watching streams on Twitch just because of how easy it is to go from one
It's the
Twitch streamer
ecosystem.
to another. Yeah, it's, you know, every day it's like my first thing I type on it and see, you know, is Asmongold live? Oh, nope, he's just hosting Rich again for the 6th time this week. So
It is what it is. I remember, dude.
is.
I remember whenever you made your transition and you put out that video, and I talked about it, and everybody was like, "Oh man, this is it. This is the end of Courage." And I said, "No, man. Like YouTube is massive, and it was so good to see your success on YouTube because it actually opened up the possibility for a lot of other creators that made the transition after you to see that that was a successful route." And to see your success, I think is inspiring for a lot of people who might not really know what direction to take.
Yeah, I'm waiting
Bro.
for an offer, honestly. With it, how great it
Yeah.
works for you out.
Hey, Rich, come on over, man. It's no. But what's crazy is, you know, as McGoldie, to touch on that, was some of the facts that like blew me out of the water from the YouTube side that made me really excited to go was like, listen, I was like the 23rd most followed account on Twitch, I think, when I left at like 2.1 something million followers. With 2.1 million followers on YouTube, I'm like just shy of 8,000.
Yeah.
And 2 billion plus people use YouTube a month. And what's a crazy fact too is like August of last year, just Minecraft on YouTube was bigger in the month of August than the entirety of Twitch's watch hours combined when you add up every single person, every single game, every single thing.
It's so
Where
big.
that's not counting Fortnite, that's not counting any other game on the platform. And you know, to have seen that now, like events, like I think it's pretty undisputed at this point. Like events on YouTube,
They dominate.
the viewership numbers are just insane compared to, and their Twitches are still really good, but it's been crazy to see. It's been really successful, but honestly, it's given me more freedoms. Like I'm able to stream more WoW now because of the way that my deal is structured. I can do and play games that I'd want to play in the past, and instead of me worrying about, oh my god, if I play a game that I'm really passionate about and love, like World of Warcraft on stream, and I'm a 800 viewer Andy compared to when I'm playing Fortnite or Call of Duty, I no longer have to worry about that. So I've been playing a lot more World of Warcraft, and it's been pretty awesome.
You excited for
800 viewer
Shadow?
Andy, that would suck, dude.
You excited for Shadowlands, man?
You know, I am really excited because I just got back into BFA about 2 months ago, so you'd probably call me an idiot with how tough it is to come back in that game with the corruption system, with
Yes.
how many comeback mechanics there are. I spent three 24-hour days slaving away in unrated BGs to get blood of the enemy,
Oh.
and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I have great friends out there. A shout out to Paul, who I know is watching, and the raid group Peep the Meats that listen, they helped carry me and helped make this possible. Peep the Meats. So you know, when your DPS is good, you go like, hey, Peep the Meats. Look at,
Oh
look at
yeah, I've seen that.
yeah. So now it's been good. I'm finally feel like I'm pretty caught up, and 3 patches in like less than a month. So basically wasted all my time, but looking forward to Shadowlands for sure.
I
Yeah.
am amazed. Did you see that there are like the expansion is coming out in 2 months from today, October
I mean,
27th.
You guys know way more than me. And
Dude, they just announced it. Yeah, they literally
It
just
just came out
I
on
don't know.
Gamescom.
I watched all of it. I watched all
Yeah.
of it. Sorry, not. I mean, like the first thing I'm seeing, and I've heard from everyone that I play WoW with that are way more dedicated than me, is that like the whole Covenant system, like, how are they going to get it going to that point in time? I heard like people in my group are saying that like only like one of the ones for monks even work, and they have like less than 2 months to get this all prepared.
See, that's the thing. I was having a conversation today. I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, are they going to be able to get it out this year? Because they've been emphasizing that they're going to get it out this year. I am very worried about them releasing the expansion unfinished and then people gaining a bad impression of it because of its unfinished state. I am super nervous about that. But I think that honestly, especially, it's like WoW is one of those games, especially with features like that the less you play it and the less you care, the more you'll probably enjoy it. And the more that you dig into it, the more it'll frustrate you and annoy you. So as long as you don't think about it too much, it shouldn't really be too bad. But I feel the same way that you do. It's like the game doesn't seem like it's finished at all. I don't know.
Also, the concerning thing, even when you're watching Gamescom, the message that kept getting put out there is covenants, covenants, covenants. And anytime in the past when they have that on the box feature, is kind of what Bellular called it, that build around feature. Yeah. That is the feature. Actually, he called it I forget what he called it. Whatever. I'll react to his video later. But at the end of the day, when you actually look at the systems like that, those are the systems that they never end up changing. And that is the one that I think a lot of us are the most scared for. And it seems the least finished. I was actually just talking to Ethan, during the Gamescom thing, who used to work with me and Jack before I got fired. But he basically was asking all these questions about the covenant system, because I do think it is confusing to anybody who hasn't been following it for a very long time.
Oh yeah, I still have no idea what they're doing, what they are. I've had access to whatever alpha, beta, whatever, I don't even know what stage it's in at this point. But for me, I feel like, and I want to play New World as well, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit later. But I just don't know do I want to get into it? I don't know if I want to play it and then I'm spoiled on everything coming. I'd rather just go in more blind, because I feel like a lot of kind of what WoW expansions are is you get into it and it happens so quick. It's all about rushing, getting to the max, getting to max level, gearing up as fast as possible. And I feel like I want to try to savor as much as I can of the new expansion when it winds up coming out, instead of going and playing all the stuff, spoiling it for myself, playing what might not be the final iteration of it. I'd rather just hop in when it's actually there, You
want to hear the good news?
I totally understand that. Go ahead, Rich.
The good news is, without any spoilers at all, I think that the stuff in the game in Shadowlands that is good is some of the best in its category. It's some of the best questing, some of the best zones, and some of the best story that we've ever seen. And also with how you do level up in Shadowlands, I think there's a decent amount of replayability compared to past expansions. And all of the really bad shit is actually the end game stuff. The end game progression is what looks a little bit scary. So I think if you do wait, and even if you're somebody in the chat right now who hasn't played in a while, no, I'm serious. Guys, all of the things that look good, instantly, dude, guys, paid. I'm not paid by anyone but NordVPN. You can actually check out the link in the chat right now. Definitely not paid by Blizzard. No links there. The stuff that looks good in Shadowlands is some of the best in its category that we've ever seen. The stuff that looks bad is some of the worst in its category that we've ever seen. I've never been more polarized on an expansion before. Some of the things like Torghast, Covenants, the actual progression of characters, very concerned about those things. But the things that I've actually liked a lot, and I've gone back and done them multiple times.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for me, Jack, I wanted to say, the way that you're approaching it and of just not playing any of the content until it's actually out, that's actually what I'm doing. And this is somebody who plays the game all the time. I want to go in and test out those dungeons and see them for the first time on release. I always rush to max level, right? Just for the sake of the stream and everything. But for the most part, I like to wait for the things to come out too. And I think that's how you get the best experience. And going to New World just for a minute, that's what the approach that I'm taking. I'm not trying to over level and get to 60 as fast as I can. I just want to play the game and enjoy it. So I think you're taking 100% the right direction. But Rich is also completely right. The in-game systems and what they're doing, I can respect Blizzard's decision to kind of go out of their way and try to go and take the game in a direction that they haven't taken it before. But I think that blazing new horizons and trying to go to new frontiers is not always the right decision. And sometimes just making decisions and doing things that are different and trying to reclaim some sort of lost idea is not always the best idea. And that is something I'm very concerned with Shadowlands, especially with Covenants, Soulbinds, and all these other in-game systems that are intertwined with each other.
I've got to come clean with you guys.
Yeah.
And chat might hate me for this, but you had a whole conversation yesterday about pre-ordering games and
Oh yes.
why you don't do it and why you pre-order WoW because you're a streamer. But I'm the guy that's currently wearing the pre-order Shadowlands clothes that you get, the full set.
Full set.
While driving, while rolling around on my Blood Elf Rogue, I'm the guy that is wearing those pre-order exclusives. So, I just want to apologize and come clean. I want to start off on the right foot with Asmon's Gold's chat before we get cutting edge in the start of the expansion, because we don't all have to get carried like McCool did for his mount.
Yeah.
So, I remember that day as well when he was making it dance on your head like the tip of a
I have
penis.
it too now, by the way. So
I know, I know you do.
Yeah.
Asmon, I promise you're my favorite streamer to watch, bro.
Appreciate
So
that.
I know all the insider intel. And I just want to make sure you guys knew that I'm the pre-order exclusive wearing Andy.
I think there's a lot
going
of
around.
the thing is, like, it makes sense kind of in an MMO to pre-order the expansion because you kind of have an idea of what the expansion is going to be based off of 15 years of content that's come out prior. And I can understand, like, maybe I might pre-order something like Elden Ring as like a vote of confidence in the product. But in general, yes, I'm not a big fan of pre-orders. And some pre-order incentives are kind of annoying to me. So yeah, I would definitely say that.
I mean, my World of Warcraft subscription I think ends in 2044
That's
or something like that because
Yeah, they didn't get to delete mine either, dude.
yeah because
because you guys worked at MLG. You have the 30 years.
When I worked at MLG, I got a free 25-year code. So when I left, I was like, ew. I straight peeked out, and I might as well get the expansion.
I tweeted that I canceled my subscription one time. I like raged and tweeted I canceled my subscription, and I got a message from someone at Blizzard, and they're like, "No, you didn't."
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I'm set up for a while. But no, I mean, I do love the whole hype around it, and I know there's a lot of other WoW streamers that find a lot of success and viewership with playing the new content that comes out. But I find myself gravitating more towards the streamers who aren't actually diving into that, and sure, discussing it and talking about it. But I just don't want to watch all of it yet. I don't want to see the raid. I don't want to spoil all that content for myself because I want to get myself something to be excited about. Like
That's why you watch Asmon stream.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time it's just him reacting to things or his chat yelling at him. But you know what?
Pretty much.
Same with you, Rich. So that's
hey, learn from the best.
Dude, Rich is a damn cam girl with the size that his webcam is, Asmongold. At least you have.
It is, Rich. It is pretty big.
You work with what you got.
Rich,
it's pretty big.
Rich will be doing mountain runs, and I'm watching the bottom left foot of his character because that's all I can see from the screen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I mean, hey, good for you, Rich.
It's because I travel so much. So like I just throw together the settings like last second. It's the default size of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that I actively thought about. And speaking of active thoughts, I'm curious what the active thought in your mind was that brought you back to WoW. We used to raid together, God, in Legion. You were on your rogue, Deus Mortis.
Hey, bro, God of Death, bro. I made that when I was 15.
Deus Mortis?
I was going around fucking shanking people.
Oh my God.
Take them all out.
Okay.
I played, we beat Garrosh on normal, and that was like my biggest WoW achievement to that point in my career. We all got the wolf mounts on Shadow Moon. Yeah, and I never enter any of your mount battles because I have like 64, I think. So I don't think that would be too good. But either way, yeah, Rich, we did play back then. We had Maven, we had Mr. X, a few other people from the MLG scene and stuff like that would play. But back to your question of what brought me back into it, it was kind of like a perfect storm. Like I'm sitting here, I'm playing other games, but then I'm also it's COVID. We're not going out much. There's no events I'm traveling to. I don't have people.
Times.
Yeah, it's like typically Los Angeles is kind of like a revolving door. Like 1 week, this person's here for this event. Next week, it's E3. The week after that, 2 more people are in town. So it's like, oh, we're doing a dinner here, or you guys are coming over tonight. But instead, it's shut down just like everywhere else. So I'm like, you know what? I have my few friends who wound up getting back into it. Some of my longtime friends that we've gamed together, went to high school together. So I had them that were getting back in the game. Some of the guys, again, that guy Paul I mentioned, our other buddy Virus, who we played back in Mists, which is still my favorite expansion. We played Mists, and so that was Siege of Orgrimmar. Sorry, what was the battle? What was Tomb of Sargeras? Tomb of Sargeras?
Tomb of Sargeras was Legion, second tier.
That was Legion. That was
we did that together. We did that too.
And then so we had them. Then since I've been able to stream more WoW, I've been having like awesome viewers of mine who, you know, it's not like when you queue up for something or when Maximum WoW queues up for something, like he's got all these people that are queuing, but there's a handful of people that watch me that also play WoW that are really dedicated. So we brought them on in, a few other old MLG pals of mine, and we've kind of just like formed together this 20-man group that has been kind of just going through Mythic, and we're 9 of 12 now.
Wow.
And we have like 50% progression at Il'gynoth. We've only done like 6 or 7 pulls. Some of them have like 10 to 12 experience from a previous guild. I don't think we're gonna get cutting edge, but yeah, I mean, it's just been super fun. This has been kind of the hardest I've ever tried to be good in World of Warcraft, but the toughest part has been coming back, and like I just got my 9th 12% haste expedient this week.
Oh yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
What are you playing as now?
I'm still just my rogue.
Okay.
My rogue is still I just love that class and how much fun it is. So I finally have like the 12% haste expedience and stuff like that. But you know, it's funny when you mention like pre-patch, like I'm kind of dreading it because I feel like we're all gonna go from feeling like superheroes where you're like that overpowered end of expansion class to like feeling like I'm a 3rd grader again.
Oh,
with no
dude.
haste.
Did you play at the beginning of
feel so
BFA?
bad. I played for about the first 2 weeks of BFA, but that was kind of when my blow up started with Fortnite, and it was like, am I gonna play WoW or play Fortnite and try to build this thing? So I went with Fortnite.
Oh, great
that
call.
that was right when you retired.
Yeah,
I actually remember
Yeah.
because I had a job then because you left, so I was actually hosting, and
Yeah.
I remember actually being really upset because I couldn't play like the first day. Yeah, man, that's what 2 years ago then now.
Yep.
Well, with coming back, you talk about just getting expedient. How did it feel? Because this is one of the perspectives that Asmon and I don't really get to have because we sadly never really stopped all the way. What was it like coming back and being like, okay, there are all of these new systems. There are some catch-up mechanics. Some things, like you mentioned, with the essences didn't necessarily have a catch-up mechanic for a new player. What was it like to jump back in?
I mean, listen, there's skewed perspectives. If I didn't stream myself getting into it, then I think my perspective, my experience would have been way different. I wouldn't be, you know, now 9 of 12 Mythic. I wouldn't have gotten Blood of the Enemy or any of those things. You know, it's a bit different when you're a streamer and you can put like white text in the bottom of your screen that says like, send gold to Asmongler, US West, to you know, get a big head start in a game.
Inkwell server, yes.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just to be clear for the
Did they transfer him off the server because he was taking so much gold from people?
You know,
Actually, yes.
It's like
I'm
like
actually
getting-
still on that server, so if you guys
Yeah.
need to send your gold somewhere, I can take it.
No, Rich, seriously, they're good. They're good on that. But keep sending it to Asmongold. But you know, like those experiences that happen, like the fact that I can just be like, hey, who wants to 5-man queue unrated BGs with me to get my best in slot Azerite power when none of them need it, but they're like, you know what, Jack? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do this. Let's help you out. Like that, I would have had to do. We won, I think, 95% of unrated BGs. We would have had to play. I would have had to play.
Oh,
for
you guys play Horde?
weeks. Yeah.
Oh, I
well,
see.
we play Horde, but then we were getting the mercenary contract to go Alliance.
Okay.
So that our queue times weren't 15 minutes; they were, you know,
1
minute,
second,
minute
yeah.
and a half. So, yeah, they like all those guys again made it way easier to come back. Any question I had, anything I needed to do, I've learned, you know, all the ins and outs of what I'm looking for in the expansion. So, if I didn't have them, my experience I think would have been way worse. And I think that right now is probably I think in my history of playing WoW, right now because of corruptions, you can be 475 item level, but if you're not 475 item level with the right corruptions, you might as well be as like useless as a
440.
moist towelette.
Yeah.
Like it means nothing. It means nothing unless you get lucky or hope that your 3-week window of waiting for your expedient to come up finally shows up. And I mean, you guys know better than me. Again, I play WoW and kind of like I dive in for a bit and then I dip out, dive in, dip out. This right now feels like the toughest it's ever been to get back into the game because of all that, because of how many comeback mechanics there are.
Oh, it
Well,
100%
yeah.
is. Like, you're like 5 other things that you have to keep up with, and then up until
Yep.
recently, like, you were still going to be time gated for months in order to get all your corruption resistance is crazy.
Bro, and then like if you're really min maxing, you're
Yeah.
having to get sockets for what 25,000 mementos, and like
Every single one.
I'm at that point now where I'm sitting here and I'm like, I've kind of done all I can outside of just raiding weekly. Am I really about to go and do the greatest content in the history of World of Warcraft, 5 mask visions for as many mementos as possible? And then I sit there and my character gets fucking thrown with fiery feet into this dude that sucks me, and then I go into this guy that teleports me to the Shadow Realm, and then this guy over here chokeholds me. I'm like, God damn, what's up with the Blizzard kink of tentacles on this expansion, bro? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
I get
I'm playing
CC'd.
the damn-
Someone was the
Yeah,
suck guy.
it's insane. You
I'm
get
playing a
CC'd
Phoenix
more.
in the raid. It's insane.
You get CC'd more in a vision than you do in arena. It's fucking
Oh,
ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Like, I'm okay with some of the catch-up stuff, but it's just they have to make it easier for new players to come in like halfway through the game. Like, it just doesn't really help anybody out asking them to just do dailies for like 3 or 4 weeks, man. And that's one thing I really hope they lock down in Shadowlands, making that shit much better whenever you talk about, you know, catching up to your main and, you know, alt progression and then coming back to the game, because they just have to understand that's the way people play the game nowadays. And they can design it differently, but that's still the way people do. I mean, that's what Courage, you're doing it right now. I think plenty of people do exactly what you do.
I mean, it's funny because I think they kind of masked like the get back into WoW or play more World of Warcraft with the double experience that's going on. But then like the 110 to 120, once you get there, it's just like, all right, forget the double experience was a nice little thing to get you back into it. Have fun, like good luck. They just like send you out to the wolves and are like, really good luck getting anywhere unless you have a really dedicated group, which I think is tough.
Yeah, it's always like kind of that fall off that you have once you get to like you get past all of like the organized group finder stuff, and then you actually have to play with other people. And it's really funny that you say that what really made the game fun for you is, wow, what a surprise, having people to play with. It's amazing. You know, big surprise.
Dude,
MMO, that's what it sells in.
Sorry.
And then and then you add in IO. Sorry, Rich. You add in like IO,
Oh yeah.
and then like you're now coming back to the game. Now you want to queue for stuff. Oh wait, you don't have the 2K IO. Now you're like, all right, now how am I supposed to get my IO? Well, I can't even get invited to +8 groups because of all that stuff. So it's been
Can't
tough.
get a
Rich, I cut you off.
job
Sorry.
because you don't have experience, and you can't
Well,
get
you can
experience
also
because you don't have a job.
lose your job. Yeah, you can also lose your job in 5 mask visions. I have a friend who,
Yeah.
man, he cared a little bit too much. Let's just say
What an
that.
idiot.
And I'm really sorry. I want to apologize to everybody in the chat. I'm not on my home setup, and I don't know what's going on with this computer. It's spazzing out. I tried to send a special link to one of my really good friends to an incredible deal that I would only send to my best friends. I mean, a 2-year plan for 68%.
Has it been 10 minutes already for us to remind them?
Man, I was trying to send that link actually to you, Asmongold, because I care about you so much. I mean, Courage is a multimillionaire. He doesn't need that value anymore, you know. But to one of my best friends, you know, trying to look out, trying to send it to you, but
Thanks,
somehow I accidentally dropped the link in the chat. I mean,
dude.
I guess you guys could click it if you
Oh,
want. It's kind of
dude.
a steal. I would only really send that to one of my best friends. But I gotta turn our attention back to what's really important here, because we're all on an extremely secure connection, so we can feel nice and safe because of NordVPN as we talk about these important issues. You talk about how hard it is to catch up. Is it worth it? Because a lot of people who play World of Warcraft, I feel like we're used to difficult grinds. It's one of the reasons that we like World of Warcraft. There have been a lot of different variations where, yeah, you got to put some work in and the payoff was there. You enjoyed the class that you had at the very end. You enjoyed the gear. As somebody who's just coming back right now in this expansion, does it feel worth it getting the corruptions?
It feels worth it because I love the people that I play with. Like, love getting on every day, playing with those guys, playing with that group, and just laughing. Like our raid group we just enjoy each other's company. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We had a really cool experience we had was Max from Limit came in and raid leaded for us when we were first starting, and like that's how we got Rod Den down and made prog on like Zanesh and stuff like that. And that
That's
was like
awesome.
a really cool experience to have.
That's super cool.
So I'm still really grateful for that. So I think that's like an MMO with friends is just it's arguably one of the greatest things in gaming. Like when I'm playing WoW, like World of Warcraft, and I'm watching a streamer, like let's just say Asmon yesterday, I ended my stream and was super frustrated because I just got this new setup and my camera keeps overheating, and
I can relate.
it was then giving me issues. And yeah, as we saw earlier, and I was just at a point where I was like, you know what, I'm ending the stream, guys. I'm just gonna go, and like went offline, took a breather for a bit, hopped on my computer, and then just like had the day to myself. And I literally was just like doing some dailies, walking around, no pressure and timing. Was watching you play New World, farming out that cave with the boss, and you were freaking out about. Well, this was on, I think, on your second channel when you were freaking out about how good your damage was.
It's all the time.
And you were hitting, you know, for 800s as it's just like it's one of the most common things in gaming. You know, it's just so much fun to just do. There's no pressure. I'm not in skill-based matchmaking Warzone where like I have TTV, you know, one viewer Andy who's like hunting me down like I have a $30,000 bounty over my head, and I can just like really enjoy myself.
I feel like that's
I can relate
cool
to that.
Thing,
yeah,
it's kind of weird. I feel like that's the cool thing though about like you talk about community. When you watch a lot of like I watch your stream quite frequently just to hear your voice because I miss you so much. You play with people all the time, and I feel like in the WoW section, it doesn't necessarily happen quite as much, and that's one of the reasons I think Asmon's stream is so good because he's always playing stuff with like playing with McCool and things like that. Like I feel like the communication in all of the streams when people are playing shooters is one of the reasons why those streams are enjoyable to watch.
Oh, dude, watching like you and Tim and like Nick Merckx and Quoxy play Warzone, it's so fucking good, man. Like it reminds me of like just back in the day, dude, sitting there on the sofa playing Halo 2 or Modern Warfare 2. And like that's the vibe that those streams give you. And I think that MMOs are the exact same thing. It's two sides of the same coin.
Oh, it's just so much fun to just be able to hop on, and I love collaborating. I'm a really collaborative person. I love meeting new people that want to, you know, get games together. Like I tweeted Asmongold saying like, hey, let's play Fall Guys. I know it's kind of out of your wheelhouse to do stuff like that, but you know what? I don't really ask people to play unless I think it will set me up for success as well as them up for success, right? Like it's pretty apparent when you watch, let's say a sponsored thing where it's like they forced 4 streamers together that have no prior history of playing, and they're like, oh, you know, you guys are going to be playing this new game or for this activation, and it's just awkward. It's like, you know, if I'm going to ask someone to play, I'm going to know like, hey, we're going to have a good back and forth. I don't know everything about World of Warcraft, but I'd like to think that we could hop on here, have a great conversation. I'm enough involved with both your guys' communities and watch just as much as, you know, a lot of people in the chat that I think we could, you know, have a great banter and really talk about some stuff that we love. So, you know, for me, it's just knowing a lot about the community itself, and being a viewer of like myself, it makes it really easy to just immediately get in and kind of know the banter that there is, you know?
Oh man, like I love doing doing streams with other people. Like for me, like I feel like I'm so much funnier and like more animated whenever I'm able to like bounce off of other people and like talk about things. Cause like honestly, I don't know how many times I get into like these fucking black holes of arguments with chat that just last for like 58 minutes. And finally like McConnell will come in and just be like, okay. So dude, what do you think about covenants? Why don't you talk about covenants for a while, okay?
Yeah.
Dude, I love when McCall comes in and he says like something really smart, you know? Like he comes in and he's like
why does that shit make me laugh every damn time? It's so dumb, but it's brilliant. It's, you know, he's a modern day Einstein.
That sure is, man. It sure is.
He's a verbal Picasso.
Always funny. But yeah, no, I think this, like, dude, I've been watching, and I'm sorry to keep bringing it up, but I've been watching so much New World.
So what do you think, man? What do you think?
Dude, I want to ask you, like, dude, I think it looks so cool and it looks like nice and just relaxing, but again, it's one of those moments of like, is it worth it for me to play? Like, I know it's like 7 days.
Okay. You want to hear my take on it? I actually was in a position where, and Asmon had to deal with me malding about it. Yeah. Day 1, I hated that game. Yeah. Day 2, I liked it. The big change was, and like even today when the maintenance was going on, I was so pissed because I couldn't play for a little bit. I went into it trying to play it like any other MMORPG, tried to play it like World of Warcraft, and I was like, man, this combat is awful. What the heck is this? And I despised it. The day that I came back, the second day, and started playing it like it was old school RuneScape, I was like, I'm just gonna skill everything. I'm just gonna craft stuff, skill. I have played the game for the past 2 days. I haven't killed a single thing. I only use the healing staff and sprint around and just kite mobs around, pick stuff up, and I'm leveling faster than I was when I was killing stuff.
And are you
I
having
just
fun?
randomly started having. It's literally old school RuneScape. Yeah, it's really fun actually, but the combat is terrible. Like the combat in that game is not good at all.
So
it's
that's
actually the worst combat I've seen
that
in a
is the
video game, but I like it.
Yeah, it's the combat's garbage. There's plenty of things in the game that are garbage. Like, I'm not going to make any excuses for the game, but also it's a beta and it's not even going to be out until next year. I mean, like, I will give constructive feedback, but I'm not going to write the game off at all. I think it has a very, very core, like, good element of like crafting. The social environment, I think, is decent enough. And I think what I really like the most about New World is being able to not know something in the game and have to ask because I can't Google it. And that, in my opinion, is the coolest thing about playing a new MMO. And that's what I was really looking for and excited for to play. Because like the other day I wanted to find oil and I looked it up on Google and it was hard for me to find it. And so I just started asking in chat. And somebody told me, they're like, oh, well, you get it in the swamps. And so I have to go over to the swamps. Now I'm over in the swamps and we're doing that. And like that is the experience that I want to have. And I think that's what makes the game so good. And Rich, like your opinion, right? I mean, that's kind of like, I was going to go into New World and see if I could beat all the content and like kind of show all that off. But the fact is, like, I don't really stream for like a super long period of time. I never played the alpha. So the other guys that do that, they're going to just be ahead of me. That's just all there is to it. And I instead went into the game and I said, how can I make this a great experience for people to watch? How can I give people that first player, that day one, that honeymoon phase experience of a new MMO? And that's what I really tried to do. And like last night, I went and I was playing with just some random guys that I found in town, and we were playing for like 5 hours together. Everybody was talking, and it was just, that's the kind of stuff that's what you remember. And those are those are the memories that you have with games. And it's not built around the combat. It's not built around the, like the systems or how hard the bosses are or anything like that. It's built around the world. It's built around the experiences, like the MMO part of the MMORPG. And I think that's what really gives it value. And New World, if they can capture that, they'll have a good game. Now, will it be good forever like WoW? Well, let me finish this. Will it be good forever like WoW? Probably not. I don't know, maybe not, right? I mean, it could be fun for a month, but there are very few games that I have fun for an entire month, and I'm excited for that month. I'll say that for sure.
They achieved something that I feel like a lot of, and sorry, I can't see, we can't see Asmon's face, so sometimes I think he's done and he's not, so sorry I cut you off there a few times. They achieved something that I feel like a lot of MMOs haven't really achieved yet, and with the proximity chat, and with the way the friends list actually works, I feel like the game does a really good job at connecting you with other players, which is super strong. Like I've already formed some connections in that game that are so strong. And like, honestly, like a connection almost as strong as the connection as I have when I use NordVPN around the world and get access to all of the content I want, even if it's region locked. And look, I've been tearing through content right now during these hard times with coronavirus. I haven't been able to go outside, and I wanted to watch the Studio Ghibli films, which you could only watch in Europe. And I used NordVPN to actually put myself, even when I was in America, in Europe. Got to watch any weebs in chat. This is for you, weebs. Check it out. Click the link in the chat. And I really felt that way when I was playing New World, and it made me really happy. The problem, though, with that, the two-sided coin to that, a lot of the time when there are players around you, the game gets more annoying because people body block you constantly. So I have a bunch of friends in the game. I'm able to communicate with those friends, but the second that we actually are all hitting the same mob, I'm just missing left and right because this stupid idiots in my head body block, or like in my face body block.
Those are the things that I think that they can fix, though, and that's why I'm hopeful about the game. It's like the idea that you need to actually hit the mob in order to get experience in it whenever you're in the group that's already hit the mob. That seems completely redundant to me. And it adds like an unnecessary complication, especially whenever you're talking about very small mobs and a game where the space that you have, the real estate that you're standing in, is exclusive. You body block people. It's annoying to try to hit certain mobs and you miss targets and you don't get the experience. That sucks. But That's such an easy fix. And those are the kinds of things that I hope they fix. Like combat being more fluid, combat meaning more than just, right clicking with the hatchet or left clicking with the hatchet. That needs to change. But I think those are things that they're going to be able to just work on over time.
Yeah, I saw some people bringing up like the idea of making it faster to swap between weapons, give it a little bit more fluidity.
Yeah.
Another thing, and kind of to go back 2 points is one real brief thing. I can't believe how excited I was to watch you mine a gold vein, and that's kind of what you mentioned like that first experience. Like I watched you mine a gold vein and was like, this is fucking lit, and it took you like 25 seconds to do it, but I was still like, that was awesome. But you mentioned in your streams that like, what's the end game content going to be, and that's where I struggle with combat a little bit. Like, let's just put in the idea of like a raid in that game. Like, is it just going to be 12 people shoving a hatchet up a monster's ass at all times? But then again, I guess that's what I do as a rogue in World of Warcraft. But like with the body blocking, like what's that going to be like?
They have to be really big. I just assume they have to be really big.
But because right now when I was watching you farm that one boss near like the edge of that dock, there would be times where you guys are fighting in this stairwell, dude, and you just wanted to like show off how good your damage was, and I'm just watching your guy like hit air because
let me get in there.
Reach, like reach the boss.
So annoying.
And so, but I do completely agree with what you're saying. Those are all quality of life things that in the next year I think are totally easy to be fixed. But what we've seen in today's day and age, and how gaming is and how competitive it now is for developers, is that like, listen, you got to fix these things quick.
Yeah.
Right? You need to be transparent on what you're fixing. You need to make sure people know, what you've got on the horizon, what you're doing to make the game better. I think it's a part of why Fall Guys will continue to be successful because they've already mentioned what they are doing to fix it. They're banning hackers live on streams of popular streamers that are getting cheated against. And they're making sure their audience and viewers know, like, listen, we see what you want changed and we're going to continue to do it. And I think that's kind of where most games need to go. And I do credit it all back to Fortnite. I think while you might not like Fortnite, Epic did change the industry forever with how they approach things. And I think for the better. So hopefully for New World, they take that because as people mentioned, the Blizzard of old, right? Or the current Blizzard and how people like the top comment, I think on the release date thing for the Shadowlands, there was a thing that was like, are you ready? And it's like, well, the question isn't if we're ready, Blizzard. It's more, are you guys ready to launch an expansion in under 2 months? It's kind of like, I feel like the Blizzard of old would have done more of that transparent communication. Whereas if I'm New World, I'm looking and going, hey, how are we going to be the 2018, 2019 developers of Fortnite, but for MMOs? How are we going to be more transparent? How are we going to be as clear as possible on what we're doing? Yeah, forcing CDs, sure, go ahead. That we are going to make sure we keep our game as updated as possible, as fluid, and people know they're being listened to.
I completely agree.
Key for the success.
I think that is a great parallel that you draw to Fall Guys too, because you see like how open and how direct Fall Guys is with their communication and responding to feedback. I think Fortnite was probably the first game, at least like the first really big game, to really sit down and embrace content creators and really start trying to work together with them and make something better overall. And I think that actually really breaks down that barrier that content creators have and viewers have with the actual the developers. And I think that gives you a certain level of personability, and it also lowers a lot of the vitriol that you see in the community whenever changes that happen are bad, and it gives people that more personal touch where they want to actually make the game better and they want to be more reasonable with their feedback because they know the kind of guy that they're talking to. They interact with them regularly. And whenever you're talking to like, some big company that you can't really, you don't know, it's a bunch of nameless faces and, the accountability is always, displaced somewhere else. It's not really as fun, and I think people get much more frustrated with it. And I think I really like the way that New World has approached this. Fortnite's approached it, Fall Guys, and WoW is doing a much better job here in Shadowlands, but they also have a ways to go.
Yeah,
Why'd you quit Fortnite?
Why did I quit Fortnite?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few different things. One, I truly loved the game more than I could have ever imagined a game when I joined it. Hell, I left my old job at Major League Gaming as like the #1 commentator with Maven. I could have been doing that job still to today. But that I just had so much fun with the game at the start. It was flashy. They had items that made the game crazy and impulse grenades. You could launch your teammates off the map.
I
There
love
was the
those.
innocence of I'm one of the best players in the game at the beginning, in the top 0.5% where I'm doing random duos and I've got, the kid Connor that I met who had never won before. I help him get his first win. The kid's now got over 600,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Connor, dude.
Yeah.
And things like that like made it so unique and fun. But then, like all games, there's kind of a moment of switch, and I think that the Fortnite World Cup, while it was absolutely awesome, was a moment that changed Fortnite's trajectory forever, because it was the max exodus of people competing in other games going to Fortnite to compete for the largest prize pool in the history of competitive gaming. And with that, it made all the sweats really begin to climb up the ladder. And with a game with the highest skill gap as Fortnite, you can joke around with it all you want, but there is no battle royale out there with a higher skill gap than Fortnite's building, editing, positioning, playing the end game zones when there's 40 people in a zone that's this big. It's absolutely ridiculous. So when you put that all in, it becomes insane. And then they added skill-based matchmaking, and because I've got 2,700 wins, I'm just immediately put into that top echelon where I've got,
Have you ever heard
cracked
of
out
Dota?
15-year-old Andy. Oh, well, Dota's individual event prize pool for sure is bigger. I think this TI is at 35 million. I'd like to watch Dota more, but they have this absolute jackass of a fucking host that if he was gone, I would watch it way, way more.
Isn't that Asmongold's friend?
The Make-A-Wish kid. Yeah. That's him.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
of course. I totally agree. I mean, I think that like that was kind of an issue with Fortnite even for me, right? I mean, I'm an okay player. Like I don't know, like probably I'd rate myself like a 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. And like there are players that are like a 9 out of 10, and that 9 on Fortnite is actually a 19. So it's like you just don't even have a chance. And I do think that is an issue, and it's like kind of an issue with like min-maxing and the competitive culture. And you look at like MMOs, and even like with Warzone, there's like the best gun. People are using the Bruin all the time, or the a whatever. I forgot even what it was before then. And there's always going to be like that best item, and swapping that up and keeping it fresh, I think is really important in all games. It's the same as WoW and New World and all of these other games. Is that's I think an issue that like all game developers want to overcome, is preventing these metas from being defined and then players feeling like they have to follow those metas. And I see Blizzard trying to like veer away from that with Shadowlands, in my opinion a misguided approach, but I can respect the goal that they have. And I hope that like for example with Fall Guys, you see people now and like they're just hyper optimizing these maps, like using little things to knock you forward and jumping on top of the little spinny things on the slime climb, and they're like super efficient with it. And it's really important for them to flesh out those maps and make new maps regularly to prevent those metas from just being the only way to play the game.
I had a conversation with someone the other day. I would not be surprised to see Epic buy Fall Guys in a very short amount of time.
I could see
and make
that.
It free to play on the Epic Game Store.
Damn, but then it won't be able to be on mobile.
I think true. I think that is like a pretty easy bet for what would wind up happening. It just imagine like it's just too easy of a collaboration between Fall Guys and Fortnite for it to happen. But yeah, then it wouldn't be on mobile. That is true. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Right now, mobile Fortnite players are basically just playing the old season with like their own private servers where they're just doing whatever the fuck they want. They're just it's like
It's like the old vanilla WoW
dog-eat-dog
players
world up there
before
right now.
Classic.
They're like they're just the forgotten people. They're like just out there like, hey guys, whenever you get this big legal thing figured out, can you just give us the new stuff?
Yeah.
Like Steam servers.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I would love, and this is kind of, I guess, a point to bring up is, I still love the Fortnite events and those big, massive scale events that happen that everyone kind of tunes into, always mind blown when it happens. Like, dude, like I would love for something like that in World of Warcraft. That is cool, like a cool thing to take part in that you want to be part of. And
it'll
I don't
lag
know if
out.
on that scale. I don't know if it's even possible, but that would be just so sick.
They tried
Actually,
that with how much Classic have you played? You play Classic at all?
I never got into Classic
Yeah.
due to I just never played it when I was younger, and then I had no like nostalgia goggles to go and play it again. And so for me, I just never played it. But I watched when you were unbanning people from your chat, and it was all the Classic Andys. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like the community was pretty toxic, so I didn't feel any need to go into it.
Good call. But I mean, there are a number of islands of enjoyment in the game, and a lot of people do have a lot of fun with it. But I don't want to discount them entirely. But you're totally fucking right. And on top of that, like they had this one event. It was like the opening of the gates of AQ, and this event was supposed to be like this massive recreation of this thing that happened 15 years ago, and it turned out to really not be that enjoyable for a lot of the servers, and it's really disappointing to see that happen. But I totally agree with you. Like seeing the pre-expansion events, so is I think probably the closest parallel that we can draw to like Fortnite's events. Those things are awesome, and I love seeing those. And I like there's a certain amount of FOMO with the Fortnite events where it was like I remember exactly where I was. This is gonna sound so stupid, but I remember exactly where I was whenever I was watching Ninja play with Drake. And I remember like these different events, and I remember whenever they had the black hole, and I was like getting carried on my alt warlock and classic in the background while I was watching the black hole. Like these kinds of things were really exciting, and I'd love to see other games take that approach, because I think Fortnite's done it, and they've had the most successful events in like video game history by a mile.
It's
I don't know if
pretty
you saw
easy for
anything
you
with
to.
this. Oh, go ahead, Rich.
No, I was just gonna say it's pretty easy for Zach to remember where he was when all that stuff happened because he's literally in that chair.
Same shirt.
Same shirt.
Yeah, it was crazy. After he killed the bear yesterday, they posted a clip of it, and he was wearing the same shirt as when he killed the bears. When they posted on Twitter, couldn't believe it.
Hey, same joke.
But no, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw anything from the new Fortnite season. And sorry to keep talking about Fortnite, but it's kind of where we're at with this events. And stuff. Like when you mentioned these epic things, like, dude, they are doing a whole Marvel season where it looks like the big boss enemy for when this event's going to happen is going to be Galactus.
Oh.
Which he's going to like come and try to destroy the Fortnite planet, and you're all going to need to defend together with the fucking Marvel superheroes to fight it off. And I'm sorry, that's just so sick.
The Thanos one they did was badass.
And the Travis Scott concert was cool too.
But like, imagine that scale. I know it would break the servers and the game would shit itself, but like, World of Warcraft has so many examples of that. But like, imagine if it just wasn't a cinematic and it was like actually something, and it was like, hey, N'Zoth and his people and his tentacle porn are coming. We need everybody. And like, hey, August 28th at that time, before pre-patch happens, you need to be online for this because everyone's going to be involved, and like everyone has a role. I think that would be just so cool to take part in.
I would love to see that, man. Like just
like,
things
imagine
to
how
like
many viewers you'd have. I know it's ridiculous to say, but like,
hey,
you'd be a 350k Andy
hey,
going and fighting off and trying to save Azeroth. Like,
oh yeah,
so
it'd
sick.
be fucking amazing. Like I would love to see these kinds of events happen in WoW too, and like having those like really small scale, like it happens for like a couple of hours and then it's over, and just like having that creates like a certain amount of hype around the game. I feel like WoW is like one of those games that doesn't really have like the same hype around it that social media hype, I mean, around it that like something like Fall Guys or Fortnite or Call of Duty has. And I think making events like that and trying to transition into like advertising in that way would be a great decision for Blizzard to make. I'd love to see them do that with like these different opportunities in Shadowlands. They'll have tons of them, and so hopefully some of that'll happen.
Well,
Dude,
even
like
think about some of the things that are so great about Zach, like Asmon's stream. It is creating those events. The game doesn't necessarily do it, but I think like a lot of the stuff that Jack's mentioning right now, a lot of the stuff that Courage is mentioning, those events, like Asmon's tried to create a bunch of them. And I feel like if the game did a better job at making the community feel that way, I think Jack's onto something in a big way. And I think that a lot of people, you start spamming poggers. It's like, oh, Fortnite poggers. At the end of the day, when you look at the Travis Scott concert, that was something that was, in my opinion, objectively cool. Like, it actually was great. The people who type cringe and all of that stuff for it are just scared to have fun. and in their head, because it's a video game, because it's in Fortnite, they feel like they are making themselves cool by reacting to it. And like, that is an awesome event. It's so cool to be able to have something happen in the virtual space of video games and be able to hang out with people and enjoy something. And the people who are scared to enjoy stuff like that, dude, it was litty on a stack. Like, I'm not even kidding.
What did you just say?
I thought you played Call of Duty.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, sorry. That's just that's out there for me. I couldn't even keep
Oh
up.
jeez. Yeah, well, Rich is all down with the new lingo nowadays.
You can just tell, you know.
No cap.
Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, no, that would be awesome. Like, dude, imagine if you get like a mount for participating in it, and just something to just memorialize being there. Like, we've seen moments in World of Warcraft where the community, as you mentioned, doing these things on their own and taking part and seeing how moving those moments can be when all the World of Warcraft players put their mind to something, whether it's all of them going together for or raiding a city or paying respects to Wreckful. Like, those moments are so moving that, you know, I would just love to see Blizzard, from a company standpoint, embrace more of leveraging how big the World of Warcraft is and creating those memorable moments for everyone out there. You know, because it's where, when you bring up those things that happen, everyone remembers the first time they raided the opposite factions, you know, main city or something, or everyone remembers where they were for Ninja and Drake. Like, imagine more of those moments in a game as big as World of Warcraft that's celebrated across the world. And Blizzard's big enough to do it, and they absolutely have the ability to. So, I think it would just be cool. I think it would just be cool. We'll give you something to look forward to. Imagine an event like that once before every huge, you know, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3. There's something that puts the bow on that patch. That's like, dude, remember when this happened? Like, when the weapon went into Azeroth. Like, imagine if during that
you got to be there and you could die by the weapon stabbing you.
Exactly. Yeah. You're like fighting on the ground, trying to hold back the forces as these titans are going at it above you, and you do everything in your power to stop it, but obviously the weapon still connects. Like, dude, how much cooler does that sound than just watching the cinematic?
Dude, that's why, this is exactly why I wanted to have you on the show, dude, is because you play these other games and you come at this with a completely different fucking perspective. I would love to see that. And I can bet like a lot of goddamn money that a lot of other people would definitely have that I was here pog. Like, feeling, everybody would feel that way.
You're telling me you're not getting the chills where you're like fighting near where the wound is, and then next thing you know, like Avengers, a fucking portal opens up, and here comes the war chief or whoever the hell you need to back you up, and you're down there and you're setting up like that whole week leading up to that would be. Yeah, I just think about it. I just think like, man, that would be so effing awesome.
It would be.
So
I would love to see it.
And it would make Blizzard a ton of money because people would resubscribe and sign on just for that event. You know they would. If you tell me there's a free mount,
hell yeah.
Like, people will be signing on even right now at the end of BFA to experience the end of BFA pre-patch. Like how people are saying corruption's going to be void. Like, instead of my corruption just going away, give me an epic event that happens that, you know, rips the ability to have corruption away from me, just so I can have a cool, just be like, all right, my character sucks now, but at least I got to experience that.
So one of the cool things that is happening with pre-patch, not quite as epic or as grand of a scale at all, and I do totally agree with a lot of the ideas that you're coming up with. I think that they would be really cool, and it would be awesome to see them in a game. But with pre-patch, they're throwing in an event where you basically turn into a zombie, and you can like run around, kill NPCs, you can turn other people into zombies. And I'm curious how the pre-patch is going to fare when it does come out, because at the same time, as awesome as like a lot of these ideas are, I feel like the engine has a lot of problems, and if you're near other players most of the time, the game just instantly starts lagging. And regardless of the scale of this pre-patch, I'm scared that the servers are just going to take a huge F.
Oh yeah, it's like trying to play Final Fantasy or a new game, Witcher 3 on a Game Boy. It's just not going to work. And like that is it's a big issue, and I worry about that a lot in terms of like what is the scope of what the game can really be based off of the limitations technologically. And that I do think is part of the reason why Blizzard doesn't take a lot of those chances, is because like now, Courage, I don't know if have you done Battle for Nazjatar? I think this is the worst offender. I use this example a lot.
Battle of Nazjatar. Is that? Hold on.
So you don't even know what it is.
Well, the
Is
thing
that
is,
when you're
if
like
he just
unlocking
came back,
Nazjatar?
No, let's just
Or no, what is
keep
that?
it that way. Let's just keep it that
Oh,
way. It
yeah,
is
no, I
really
definitely have not.
Good.
I don't think I have it all.
So basically, imagine an area where you can't play your character at all, and you have no idea what's happening. You're stuck in place. None of your abilities work. And then after 2 minutes of that happening, your character randomly teleports back to its original location, and it's dead. So, and this is like right now in the live game. And like these types of things, they need to be fixed, right? And these are the kinds of things like these are like kind of baseline like gameplay mechanics. And I think that a lot of people that would come into the game would see it and it would just immediately turn them off. And I do think that like clearing up those things is super, super important. And that's what's really going to enable them to do like these cool events. And they have so many of these secondary scaling systems and this weird stuff going on. I'd like to see them make the game more simplistic in terms of a numerical sense, because I think it's just way too complex and convoluted for people to truly understand.
yeah, and Jack, for somebody who hasn't done Battle of Nazjatar, I just want to put it in perspective for you. It feels really bad. It almost feels as bad as not having the security of NordVPN as you go to your favorite websites wherever you are in the world. It feels terrible. You definitely want.
Rich, I can't fucking stand you. I mean, dude. I remember what it used to be like to work with Rich, and man, I really can't stand him, dude. I mean, that is literally, it is almost as good as when you get a nice, refreshing Mountain Dew Game Fuel, as you get all the energy, accuracy, and alertness you need to dominate your favorite games.
Are you sponsored by them?
No, Rich, I just gave them a free plug.
That's so cool. Oh, that's actually,
he's
dude,
a
that's
nice
really
guy.
cool. Congrats.
He's a really nice guy, yeah. How about
Dude,
that?
that's awesome. Dude, that's really awesome. Wow. Dude, big time.
Asmongold, if you ever just like want to have a conversation about making millions and millions of dollars, I'm ready to help you out.
Well,
and take
Jack,
me under
I
my
actually,
wing.
on another side,
We can buy a fucking McMansion together and then play World of Warcraft for the rest of our lives, and I'm ready.
well, I kind of wanted to. Well, I actually wanted to ask you, as
Sure.
somebody who got super famous by being somebody's friend, like,
Yeah.
what's my next step?
Shout out Ninja, baby. Sorry?
What's my next step? You know, Asmon blew up, having to be his friend, right? He's kind of just like you and Ninja. What do I do next?
Well, first, Rich, I think it's really key to stream more than 3 times a week. I think that's a big thing.
Okay, you're gonna understand why that happened. I have an announcement soon. I actually have an announcement soon.
For the last about 6 months, I've heard that you're moving to Texas, but I've only seen you streaming from New York or wherever the fuck country you're in right now.
I'm in Ukraine right now.
Yeah. So I think that'll really help. But from this side, I'm really proud of you guys for having the NordVPN sponsor. I think it's awesome. I think it's key to remember that we might not have these audiences forever. These people in chat might one day have a family for themselves or go outside.
Yeah, they might have something better to do than sit around and watch some guy play a video game all day. No, I actually think that, especially in the past year or two, the community has been much more receptive and positive about the sponsorship stuff, and I really appreciate that. I think the community's been doing much better with that. I mean, you'll still get some people that are negative about it, of course, but for the most part, I really, really appreciate you guys being so supportive and just nice about it. Really do.
It's where we're at in this industry is that we are blessed to have such incredible audiences, and these are people that want to support us on greater levels, and there are companies that realize that, hey, these communities are fantastic to be part of, and we want to support them with opportunities. Like these sponsors do research before they just throw money at people, right? Like they know what they want to do for certain things. And they know they'll get Rich's goofy plugs. NordVPN's laughing at how funny this has been right now, whenever it's plugged, and chat has been showing so much love by clicking the link. But it's key to remember, you know, you're not going to sit here and let the money and stuff like that and do that change you. But we're in an incredible position right now where there are companies that will give you more money.
They
than
give
you
us
can
too
ever
much.
imagine.
It's too much.
To-
They like
to
it's
do
it's
something
ridiculous.
And 30 years from now, you can't look back with regret and go, man, I could have set up my future family or, you know, my closest friends or people around me to help change lives or to help give back to my community. That it's insane. So, you know, you're not going on every single day and doing a hashtag ad, and doing things you don't believe in. But I think you're someone who, you know, a game, listen, game like New World. I'm going to tell you something. It's made by Amazon Studios. I'd be saying this. Y'all want me to play that game, Amazon? Jeff Bezos better fly to my goddamn house and give me $5 million to make your MMO come off the ground.
Well, they gave me 100 keys, so hey, close enough, right?
100
Same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And that's
know.
also why I do love your streams, bro, because
Yeah.
you know it's that part of it that is so good. But as someone who looks up to you in this industry, and I know, you know, just how much of a great audience you have, you know, they should give you 100 keys. They should give you 500 damn keys, and they should also give you, you know,
$100,000.
$250,000
I like that more.
for promoting their beta. There's no other way.
Very
I'm
true.
not going to go around it.
Very
you know,
true.
I want Asmongold to get paid, bro.
Yeah. This is going to sound like a little bit corny or cheesy, but I actually really like helping out my friends and being able to like help them make their streams and make content with them. This is something I've always been really, really excited about. I've been passionate about. I've done this ever since we were kids. I've helped out tons of people, and I never feel like it's anything weird because these people are my friends. I've known them for years, and I'm so glad that like now that we're able to, you know, make more wholesome content, not just from not wholesome, but holistic content that also tends to be wholesome, and really give people that experience. I think that's great. It's been a goal of mine ever since I started doing, you know, content and everything like that. And especially come back from streaming. 1 second, my dad's here. Hi, I'm doing
Very good.
okay. How you doing?
Listen,
Wait, does he know about NordVPN?
Dude, Asmon's dad's so funny, dude.
Dude, he's got it. We should tell him about NordVPN. That Rich, this would be a great time to plug it.
Oh, I'm not gonna plug it to his dad. You think that he doesn't already know? We protect our family, dude.
Oh, of course. He right now he might have muted and they're probably talking about NordVPN actually at the moment.
Yeah, we could play cast and talking about NordVPN. I actually, when Zach's gone for just a second, when he's talking to Asmon dad, I kind of want to ask you a question.
Sure.
You retired from casting.
Yeah.
You ended up going back and you did some of the stuff with Fortnite. Like I know you did Worlds and you did a lot of stuff with Fortnite. Did you miss it though when you actually retired?
I mean, I would do casting. I would cast more still. It just comes down to it's got to be worth my time financially.
Yeah.
I still love certain parts of it. I love, you know, being part of those big moments. I think I could cast arguably any game if I put my thought process into it and do it. But yeah, I mean, there are definitely things that I missed, but I don't miss how often I needed to travel.
Yeah, it's kind of like weird.
Time I had away from stream. Like streaming is my passion. I absolutely love it. Like I love moments like this where you're just able to chat around in the comfort of my own home and create memorable, you know, times on stream. And it's different when you're building someone else's brand and or stuff like that and viewership like that versus when you're building your own. You know, it's like if I'm going to put time into this, I might as well put it directly into myself. And you know, that's just kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I like had that weird moment because like this is my last event, like period.
Yeah.
I got fired from one game, retired from another one, and now I'm kind of taking a step back from this one as well.
Okay.
And I had like that moment where like I always look at you, like you were such a good caster, and you still are. And it's kind of I feel like it's very hard to step away from something that you're good at as well. And I think it took a lot of balls to do that. And I don't know. I'm still in the back of my mind. I feel very hesitant to do it.
I mean, we've talked about this and we've had conversations. It's like now that you're going to be able to do this, elevate your content, elevate what you've got going on to match the time investment you're going to
See,
put
that's
in.
the thing I keep telling Rich. He's worried about it. He's not. Don't fucking worry about it. It's gonna be fine. Like, you're gonna be fine, dude. Everything's
Well,
gonna be
you're the
absolutely
only. You're
100%
actually the
fucking
only
fine.
person who understands, though,
Why you get stressed
like
out.
I'm stressed,
Oh, fuck
right?
yeah,
Like
100%.
I actually last night after we hung out and talked,
Yeah.
it was the first night I slept more than 3 hours in 2 weeks because of
Jesus.
stress and like other shit. It was the first
Yeah.
time that I actually slept through the night because like our conversation was like, I don't know. Also, like I'm, for the most part, for what we need for the next 2 weeks, it's all done. So I feel like
Yeah.
I can look and I can kind of
Yeah,
rest.
it's
over
very
the
true.
workday.
My dad told me that my car is messed up and it was $1,000 to repair the car, which totals my car. That pretty much totals my car. I drive a 2001 Mustang, and so I've got to figure that out in just a little bit. And yeah, it is what it is.
Click the
Dude.
NordVPN link, guys. Click the NordVPN link.
Yeah, please click the link, guys, because at the
You want
end of the
Asmongold to have
show, I have to call them and pay it.
Jack got a
Yeah.
Lambo the other day, dude.
Oh yes, dude. Okay, man. You have
it
to
is,
tell
dude.
us about the Lambo. How is it,
There it
man?
is, dude.
How is it?
I mean, dude, I think you need a matching one, man.
I agree.
It's
Dude, I always
no,
thought
I
that
mean-
Lambos were dumb, and then I saw
Yeah.
yours, and it's a cool car. I've never seen that one before.
I mean, it's simple as this, right? Is I've been very blessed. You know, my this whole streaming thing has been insane. You know, I'm paying my sister's college tuition. I've got the family taken care
That's
of.
awesome.
We're making updates to my house I grew up in. I got investments made, stuff like that. I've taken care of all the like adult things and making sure people around me are good, and experiences with friends and stuff like that. But my computer background when I was like 12 when I got my first laptop and was playing StarCraft 2 was like, or StarCraft was like, a Lamborghini. Like I always wanted a Lamborghini, and I'm at a point now where you know what, I'm gonna make videos with it and have memorable drives and road trips and stuff like that. That you know what, I'm not gonna work this hard and do all these things to not have it, and it's something that brings me joy, and that's it. Like
Oh,
I gotta
I
say,
get that. It was
too-
one of the only cars I had whenever I was a kid. I still have.
see,
Yep.
There it is, dude.
that's the one you're gonna buy after the stream, thanks to NordVPN.
There it is.
Dude,
There it is.
just like you mentioned your family and stuff. You have the best family ever. Your dad and your mom have like tweeted out at me since I first started casting. I only got roasted by your dad one time. Every other time, literally the most supportive family, and it shows, dude. You honestly.
After being on the show now today, now my dad was gonna watch so much more of Asmongold because obviously he already knew Rich, but I guarantee he's
sorry.
watching this right now. Hi, mom and dad, and he'll tune into the streams, and soon he'll be the one in chat saying "same shirt, lol W,"
Oh,
and
great.
and you know we'll be the guy there poking fun just like all the rest.
My
As,
dad calls me out on on chat in my stream. If I tell a story, I remember this one time he was sitting on that sofa right there, and somebody asked me, "How many hot dogs have you eaten in your life?" And I'm like, I don't know, like 500. And you hear his fucking voice. He's like, "No, it's been way more than that. You've eaten way more hot dogs than that. Think about all those cookouts we used to have. That's at least 2 hot dogs a day." It was the funniest fucking thing, man.
That one time he was in my stream giving me like ammo. He was like,
Oh.
"One time, Zach."
Oh,
Yes. Oh my god.
dude, my parents have so done that too. But
Yeah.
no, Rich, thank you for that. I mean, it's been it's a total blessing. They
Yeah.
support anything I do and absolutely love watching it. So it's been a dream come true. And now at this point, it's just like let's just keep having fun with it, right? Like that's why
Yeah.
now, dude, I just want to play what I want to play and have fun with it. I want to do more single player games, bro. I love watching. Like I played Insomniac games, Marvel Spider-Man, which was like phenomenal. Like I started out with like a sponsored stream for it on Twitch and had like 35,000 viewers for front
Congrats.
page, and then like decided to just finish it, and like people just kept tuning in for it. And I totally want to play more single player games with that. I want to just have more moments where it's like outside of just the FPS genre. I think that's like the future of things that I want to do. So I'm ready. If you guys ever want to do a new world New World Raid, whenever that comes out.
Dude,
or-
whenever the game
Heck
comes out,
yeah.
I really want to have everybody like on Faralina and in Classic WoW, like having
Yeah.
everybody on the same server. Like there were a number of like negatives with that, but there were also a lot of positives. And like being able to just play with everybody else is so cool. And I really hope that everybody wants to play on the same server, minus like maybe a few people that want to go do their own thing. But like I'll want to make a guild with all my friends and do all that. Like that's what the game's all about for me.
Dude, Minecraft. We need to all do something in Minecraft together. It'd be so much fun. I'm
jeez.
so happy that I feel like everybody had this for a very long time. It was just kind of one of those things where nobody moved away from their game. Everybody was always very stressed out to move away from their game. Even Asmon was nervous to move away. And now all of a sudden, I think people are way more relaxed about it. I feel like everybody's having more fun. Like
Because
getting
of
to see
Fall
Asmon do
Guys. That's
Minecraft.
why.
Fall Guys.
I think
Yeah.
that's a huge reason. Like, unironically, I think that's a massive reason. It's like a game like Fall Guys does such a great job to just kind of break the ice with that kind of stuff because it's so easy. There's no real like prior knowledge you need to understand. Like, if you're going from like one game that has like a high knowledge ceiling and it's like not as accessible to like a just viewer. Like WoW, like for example, WoW is not very accessible to like an average viewer in the same way that Fall Guys is. Like you can see exactly
Vendolin
what's
has a
going on
good
in
point
Fall
in
Guys.
chat. He
What
goes,
is that?
dude, it's only because WoW is shit, lol W.
That's the only reason I stopped playing. You're right. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about it.
if you don't know WoW, it's like if you don't know another language, you try to have
Exactly.
a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
It's very hard for viewers. It's just like League of Legends, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But Fall Guys is 3 damn buttons, and the barrier of entry is literally nothing. It's like get your Tim the Tatman shaped character to the finish line, and that's it. And people can watch that instantly. So I completely agree. The ease to watch it's just so good. So.
And I do want to mention right now, guys, if you are watching, this is around the time that we do usually start taking questions. So
wanna
if you
get
want to
into
start
it?
using the hashtag on Twitter, we can start checking out those questions in a second. If you have any questions for Courage, anything for Asmon, or anything for myself, just throw them in. And also feel free to ask questions about New World, because I know a lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
really did want to talk about that. So if you have any questions about New World, you have any questions about WoW, or maybe even some of the stuff with Gamescom, because I know I can't stop thinking about what the heck the Walking Dead Bridge Simulator is. I have no idea what that game is, but
Yo,
dude, that
I,
was so
I,
weird.
I nearly cried when they were like, "Let's check out some gameplay from Godfall," and it starts, and it was literally like 2 auto attacks on a
Here
mob.
we go.
And
Yeah.
Zach literally goes, "That's it."
Yeah.
Dude, what was that other game that they said it was? They were like, it comes out today, and then you go to the website. There's no
September
gameplay
3rd.
on the website.
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot which one
Oh.
it was, but it was.
Oh, I have it open. Spellbreak.
Yes.
So it's spelled. Oh wait, they actually just updated it. They updated a bunch of stuff. It's on the Epic Store. It's on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox.
There you go.
So I guess they just updated it when it went live. Maybe I have no idea what that game is. I'm actually curious because the music, like the actual cinematic music, was sick.
I thought Spellbreak has been out for a while. Isn't it like a Wizard BR? Yeah, it's Spellbreak Battle Royale. That's what I know it as.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's a
BR.
It's a VR, yeah. It's literally like you fly around and it's all magic. Been out for a while. I remember like watching Shroud play it. I think I watched Shroud play it like
It's
over
been
a
in
year
beta.
ago,
Okay.
pre-Mixer.
It was quite a while
Like
ago.
back when it was first on Twitch.
Damn, yeah. I guess I just completely missed it. Yeah.
Okay, Rich,
peop-
we know you live under a rock, so.
Very, very true.
You want to start doing the questions, Rich? What do you think?
Yeah. I
got a
got
good
one right now. It says, "What does?" I was trying to think of a way to bring Rock back to NordVPN,
Okay.
but I couldn't find a way.
Solid as a rock.
Wow.
Wow, good job. All right, let's ask this question. What does Courage think about Ashes of Creation? Did you have a chance to see
Yeah.
anything for Ashes?
I watched a little bit of Tim's chat he had with like the lead developer, and it looks interesting. I cannot say that I didn't even know about New World until I started watching Asmongold stream it, so I didn't even hear about Ashes until I watched Tim do that conversation. So I'm interested in it. I'm realizing like more and more now how bad I do want to try like just a completely unique MMO, because realistically, I played like Guild Wars 2 for like a day, but that was about it in my history. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear more. That's really all for me.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get an alpha pretty soon. I think it's happening by the end of the year, and so I'm really excited to see what it's going to be like. Hopefully it'll be the same experience or a better experience in New World, but we'll have to find out.
Wow, so many people ask that question. It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like there were like back to back people just asking
No surprise
what
there.
Bash is. I think a lot of people are really excited for it, and I think that the excitement actually built up even more with New World because people were like, "Wait, there's some things that are actually kind of fun with this. If Ashes delivers on anything that said it might deliver, we might be in a really good spot." So this question is actually, this was crazy. I'm not even sure if Asmund. I'm assuming he saw most of it, but this question says, "What was it like to meet Ariana Grande?"
Oh, for me, I met her twice. It was awesome, and she remembered me the second time when we filmed the music video for it. But yeah, that was just an off the cuff thing. We were out there celebrating Nadeshot's birthday, and got a phone call or FaceTime from Scooter Braun. Was on FaceTime with him, Ariana, and her other management, and I was like, "What the fuck is my life right now? I just play video games." And yeah, that thing got like 40 million views in first between Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, like 40 million views in its lifetime. So
You know the best part?
real.
I remember whenever that got tweeted out, I thought it was a joke. I didn't even think it was real. I had to see it myself. I was like, there's no way.
What's
Yeah.
crazy is that blew up off of. It's nuts how like you guys have an announcement coming that I know has been teased. Like, it's crazy how just a few tweets, like that was just a few tweets in the community of people that I leaked it to, being like, Jack's gonna break the internet. Be ready for Jack's Twitter on Wednesday, August 7th or whatever. And it's nuts how it can just like take the internet by storm, like in that moment, if you just like tease something the correct way.
Oh, what? You want us to tell you?
Yeah, leak it right now. Go ahead. 35,000 people. Tell us. No, but text me, Rich. Text me.
I will. I'll ask. I'll ask the. I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what actually legitimately bothered me about the whole Ariana Grande thing? There was that pink jacket that I used to wear that you roasted me for, and you basically wore the same jacket in the video.
Oh, kick rocks, dude. I was like, I pulled it off better, so I thought I could wear it, and look where it brought me.
Just saying. You
Don't be
copied
jealous.
me.
Don't be jealous. Just saying, you copied me. You suck.
When did Jack start playing WoW? Also, what made him get away from the Warzone hype to start playing again? So, yeah, I think you talked about that a little bit, but what actually started you?
I think I made a tank, human paladin, in like early Cataclysm, and then that was kind of when I first played. His name was Supernus because of all my Latin names when I was growing up. Deus Mortis, Supernus. My Death Knight was named like Carnifex, so that's of course how I did it back when I was my young self. What made me get away from the Warzone hype? I mean, it's another game with skill-based matchmaking. I hate when they put out games. I hate when games put in skill-based matchmaking but don't give us a rank to follow. I wouldn't care about facing people of similar skill if I had a cool rank to show off for it. I want to be able to show off my 50 that like I used to have in MLG in the Halo 3 days, because everyone was like, damn, you're a general 50 in these playlists. That's dope. No, right now I just get to face the sweatiest sweats in skill-based matchmaking day in and day out, and have nothing to show for it other than a receding hairline.
I can
Wait,
relate.
you too?
Yeah. No. I mean, I think I'm kind of holding strong right here. Sorry, Rich.
Must be nice.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
That would
must
be a good
nice.
podcast, though. Good.
What, Baldcraft? I think that we've had that for half of the podcasts that we've done, actually. Like, almost every other podcast has been somehow Baldcraft. It's like usually it's like the progression where like we have a bald guy on there, and it's like Rich, me, and then the bald guy. It's like the progressions of male pattern baldness. I'm fully aware of the meme.
Hey, listen, man.
It's not really a meme.
One of my best friends didn't want to shave his head for years, Maven, and once he did
Yeah.
it, he became like a sex icon again. So
Yeah, he was good with the
I
shades,
think I think when you wind up going full Baldwin Gold one day, Jesus, I mean, you're gonna break the internet and you're gonna be damn good looking.
Dude, Maven
You
actually.
already are,
so.
but
Dude, Clint looked terrible before he
I mean,
shaved off
horrible.
his hair, but he genuinely is a very good-looking dude, Asmund. you should actually take a look at instantly how much better looking he got
All right.
when he shaved off the.
All right. No,
I don't even
will
know if you would call it
consider
hair, just the scraps.
the fuzz. Yeah.
Stone Cold Gold. Let's take a look at this. Oh, so a bunch of people asking different questions about how we felt about the cinematic. I personally thought it was in like the top 5.
It might be my favorite.
Cinematics.
I absolutely love it. Like I might have to sit down and think about every single other one, but from somebody who grew up playing Warcraft 3, seeing the continuation of the Uther and Arthas story and the whole idea of like, because I feel like that cinematic added so much depth to what the Kyrians are, in terms of like the idea of following order versus like rebelling against it, and Davos as a character. I thought it was fucking incredible. I loved it, and I think it was one of the best cinematics they've ever made.
I haven't even got to watch it yet, but I share Asmongold's sentiment.
Very true.
Dude, you're in for a treat when you do actually get to watch it.
Yeah, it's great.
It genuinely is fantastic. Like I got nerd chills, and alongside it, they actually announced the date that it's coming out. We're gonna do one last question, because Asmon needs to fix his car. I just need to pick it, which I haven't done yet. So I'm talking to fill the air before I actually find it.
Well, yeah, I mean, Courage, we do really appreciate you coming on the show, man. Like, it's been fucking awesome. I've been really glad to have, like, more people that are, like, not necessarily, like, just super hardcore WoW players, but just people that play the game and have a passion for it, and just to get their perspective on the game, especially people who play other games. Like, that's, I think, the coolest thing, and that's one of the reasons why I get excited to play other games, is to think, like, I see this other game and I think to myself, oh yeah, this would be really cool if WoW did this thing that this game does really well. And I think those are some of the most productive and coolest conversations. So thank you very much, man.
No, this has been entirely my pleasure. I mean, as someone who's a big fan, this is so cool to be on the show, and your community is absolutely awesome. Your chat makes me crack up every time I'm watching.
Thank you.
And it's so cool to be here. I'm proud of you guys for continuing this. I think it's one of the best podcasts out there on Twitch. As you guys continue to grow it, you guys have a huge time coming up with Shadowlands.
Oh yeah.
And then the last part of my spiel will be directly at Asmongold, which is, dog, I hate when you roast yourself. And the other day yesterday you were struggling with something on New World.
I get so
saying,
I
can't
do.
I can't do anything right. I can't do
Yeah,
this. Bro.
I know.
You're a really smart guy, and I think you don't give yourself enough credit at times. And I think that in moments you just got to kind of sit back and realize, people really do look up to you. You are someone that is one of the more entertaining people in this whole industry, and I think that you got to go a little bit more easy on yourself, man. You're like half the shit that wasn't even working was like beta shit. It wasn't even anything that had to do with you, but you were roasting yourself.
I get so upset about it. Like, that's the thing, is like I'm getting, and the way I look at it is like, you're right, but also like that mindset got me to sort out this computer situation last night. So hopefully it's gonna fix it. And yeah, I've had a very very odd way of self-improvement, but usually it does lead to self-improvement. But you're totally right. I mean, I hate to verbalize those thoughts, but sometimes I just feel like, it's like it just gets to me, man. It just fucking gets to me.
Hey, and shout out to Rich too. I'm proud of you, bro, for taking the leap. I know you're gonna do great things with being a full-time streamer, with whatever you got going on. If you ever move to Texas, it's been a 3 fucking chapter saga of moving there, then not moving there. But I know you guys are gonna do great things. I think you guys are a fantastic combination. Rich with the experience that he has, Asmongold with the incredible entertainment value you have. I can't wait to see what you guys do. Anytime you guys want me on the show, I'll be ready, and hope we get to play some World of Warcraft and have more times together. So appreciate you guys having me on, and this has been awesome. Shout out to NordVPN for showing these guys love too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, man.
Dude, Jack, genuinely, thank you always for being a good friend since the very beginning, man. You really always have been. And I hope that one day, very soon, when I tell you kind of, the thing that I'm going to tell everybody soon, and then that makes sense, and then there's going to be a thing, and we'll want you to definitely come and be, with everything with the thing. We want you to be part,
Right, yeah, redacted. I get it.
Yeah. I think Asmon definitely will agree with that. And it was really awesome to have you on the show. We've been talking about this for, I feel like even back at MLG, because we've been doing Allcraft for years now at this point, and I feel like we had talked about it a million times. And thank you for coming on.
Of course, guys. So I'm probably gonna go now play WoW. So if anyone is trying to push keys, let's go. I'll be ready.
There we go.
All right,
There it
man.
is.
Well, thank you very much again for coming on the show. We really do appreciate it. And guys, if any of my mods can link some of Courage socials on the chat, you guys can follow him on YouTube, on Twitter, and everywhere else. So again, thank you, man, so much for coming on the show and being part of it. We had a great episode, and thank you so much, dude.
Appreciate it, guys. Hope you enjoy the New World playthrough you're doing later today, as I know you're hopping back into it. So
Absolutely.
enjoy.
And if you guys want to stick around, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say talk soon. Peace, guys.
Oh, hell yeah, man. And if you guys want to stick around for the after show, we're going to go ahead and we'll do the after show on Rich's stream. Just go ahead and hang out, and I'll host on into it, and we'll take some viewer calls and do the same things that we always do. So thank you again so much, guys, for watching. And it's pretty much all we've got.
Yeah, and a big shout out to our sponsors that did make this possible. Obviously, had a lot of fun with it throughout the episode. But keep in mind, Party has been sponsoring this throughout. I mean, now it's been months. The Party's been sponsoring the podcast. Huge shout out to them. I know that they actually were announced the other day that they're going to be doing some stuff with New World as well. So you definitely want to check that out. And as well, NordVPN, first time jumping in, sponsored this episode. If you guys could click the link, it's one of the biggest things that you could ever do, even just clicking the link, checking it out. It's one of the biggest things that you could do to actually support Allcraft so far to this date. And so thank you for checking that out, and a huge shout out to them for actually jumping in and sponsoring the show. One more time, thank you, Jack, for being here. Be sure to check out Jack's stream. Be sure to follow Jack on Twitter and Instagram as well, right? You got one of those?
Hey, I do, bro. It's Courage JD on all social medias.
There it is. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and wrap things up because I need to call the mechanic in 13 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and sort that stuff out. Thank you again very much for coming on the show, and I'll see you guys later.
Peace.
See you,
All right,
boys.
see ya.